back to another episode of Handloader TV. I'm your host, Jeremiah, and in this episode we're going to be taking an in-depth look at the Hornady Auto Charge Pro powder measure, or the Hornady ACP. Some pretty neat play on words there. So I've been using this dispenser for quite a while now, dispensing lots of powder, and as you can see we have a plethora of powders that we test here. I've probably put somewhere in a ballpark of 200 pounds through this thing. So I've been using it a lot. It's got a very large capacity hopper here for dispensing your powder, holding it. And let's go ahead and take a closer look, and we'll go ahead and start with the menu system. Now that we have an up-close view of the unit here, you can see it features 2 leveling feet in the front, along with 2 leveling feet in the back, and a built-in bubble level. So leveling and stabilizing the unit is very easy and very simple. It comes with the powder pan and 2 check weights, a 10 gram and a 50 gram. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the screen here. Target, that is how many grains you want to dispense into the powder pan. The speed determines how fast it will trickle the powder into the pan. The time is how many grains away from the target you want the unit to go ahead and slow down and begin the trickling process. It's very simple, and it allows for some nice tunability, and it helps you speed up the use of this machine with certain powders. Going ahead and looking at the settings, there are 4 different settings here, and then there's normal. Think of these like your presets. So you can have 1 to 4 presets. Auto and manual. This determines whether the powder dispenser will automatically begin dispensing powder. When you lift off the pan, empty it, and return it, it'll automatically begin dispensing more powder. Or you can leave it on manual like I have it, and you'll have to press the button each time. Kind of a nice feature. Also, if you want to adjust the LCD backlight display, you press and hold it. You can set it to auto, to off, or to always on, like this. And then we have the 0 and calibrate button. So let's go ahead and show you what that looks like. You're going to press and hold it to calibrate the unit, and it's going to go through the calibration process, asking for the 10 gram check weight and then the 50 gram check weight. So there you have it. Now it's going to want the 50. Place that on there. And then once it's done thinking about it, you'll remove it, and then it will tell you if it's passed or failed. Which ours passed with flying colors. It's also recommended that you let this unit warm up for 10 to 15 minutes. Now I'm going to go ahead and 0 our powder pan, and I've got this preloaded with H1000 powder, and I've got my custom parameters set up here. So let's go ahead and see how well it dispenses this particular powder. It's kind of a bulkier, heavier extruded powder, and I find that a lot of powder dispensers can struggle with these types of powders. But I've also thrown a lot of powder through this guy, to be honest with you, and I've kind of got our tunes dialed in fairly well here. And once you have those guys dialed in, it really works quite well and quite quick and efficient. So there you have it. And now let's go ahead and show you what it looks like if it throws an overcharge. So I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to hit dispense, and I'm going to kind of, I'm going to tap it and overcharge the unit while it's dispensing here as it gets close to target. I think this is kind of a neat feature of the unit. So we're getting close here. I'm just going to go ahead and tap all this powder out and make it go over. Overcharge. Don't use it. I like that feature. It's a very nice feature and very helpful. So just to kind of show you guys that this isn't a fluke, we'll go ahead and hit enter, which will clear that, and we'll hit dispense one more time. And as you can see, it's pretty quick and pretty accurate. And a fast trickle, and then it's going to go down to the slow trickle here and get us right up to our target weight. And there you have it. 75 grains on the button. And that's how many we've thrown so far. Now, if you want to see this, you can hit enter and just confirm it is at 75 grains. So now we're going to go ahead and dump this H1000 out, and we're going to put in some Hodgdon CFE 223 powder. Let's go ahead and show you what it does with a spherical powder. Okay, so we've gone ahead and swapped out our powder from H1000 to CFE 223, and I've changed my target, speed, and time to adjust for the ball powder. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit dispense, and we're going to see how quick it can dispense ball powders. I find that with most dispensers, ball powders tend to be more forgiving. As you can see, the trickle time is shorter and the speed is also higher. And so there we have it, 25 grains. So let's go ahead and throw one more, just to show you guys it's not a fluke. I'm going to go ahead and zero that. And also, included with this dispenser is a nice little windscreen here. And also it keeps the dust off it while you're storing it. And there you have it. If you wanted to, you could use that windscreen to keep wind or an AC vent or something over it. And you could place it on there and then hit dispense. But this unit isn't too terribly sensitive to bumps on the bench or to air current. So I typically leave it off. Almost there. So as you can see, it throws charges really nicely, and if tuned properly, you won't have any overcharges. So now let's go ahead and swap out our CFE 223, and we'll go ahead and use some Alliant Red Dot, a nice flake powder. Okay, so now we've swapped out CFE for Red Dot powder. This is a flake powder and it's a little bulkier, and it's filled the hopper up to about right here, but we still have some room to spare. This is 1 full pound of powder, by the way. Our target is 8 grains, and notice how much I've adjusted the speed and time. So let's go ahead and we'll hit dispense. And the first one might take a little bit longer because it had to charge the tube here. Our target is 8 grains of Red Dot powder. Slow trickle up to it. And there we have it. 8 grains right on the money. Perfect. Dump this back in here. And we'll go ahead and show you guys one more throw. But so far I've been pretty impressed and pretty happy with the performance of this guy. It's done very well for us. And I even used this to load all of our plinking ammo for our 454 Gazoo video. So I've had this for quite a while and had a lot of time behind it. There we go. Alright, so since we're full of quite a bit of powder here, I think now is the perfect time to go ahead and show you guys how to empty this unit. So I've gone ahead and emptied most of the powder out of the hopper here, just for demonstration purposes. Now I'm going to take my can of powder here, and I've set my target as high as it will go, so it will dispense continuously for me. Rotate this downspout, make sure it's all the way down, and let the powder feed into the bottle. And a little trick with these fluffier powders, as they get towards the top of the bottle, you can rotate it to keep it from overfilling or overflowing. Take my little handy dandy paintbrush, which is included with this powder dispenser. I'll hit the dispense button. I'll hit 0 and dispense. And you can shut that off once it is finished dispelling the powder from the tube here. You can remove this hopper, give it a few taps, get all the powder out, wipe it out with the brush as needed. And then there's one more little note I want to make on this dispenser. This little nozzle here is great for filling your powder can, but I highly recommend after each time you use it and you empty it, give it a couple of turns one way, and then give it another couple of turns the other way, and just make sure that all the powder has been removed. You could possibly even use a little bit of light canned air. Kind of take the brush up in there and clean it out maybe. But you don't want any of that powder getting mixed into something else. So there you have it. Not much comes out, it's a small amount, but it's still something to take note. And you can return your hopper and your lid, and you're ready to dispense more powder. So now that you've seen it all for yourself and you've seen us dispense the various powders and other things, a lot of people want to make the comparison to the Matchmaster we have from RCBS. However, this is a little bit different of kind of animal. It's accurate to 1/10 of a grain, so it's not quite as accurate as a Matchmaster. However, it's available at a lot lower price point, and I really like the customability to be able to tune it to whatever powder I may be using. So all in all, I think it's a great system. It's awesome for dispensing pistol or rifle charges, and really it works very well. The leveling feed is nice, the built-in bubble level is nice, and just plain and simple, it works. And it works very quickly and very efficiently for a powder dispenser. So there you have it, and you can see for yourself if this is something you'd like to add to your bench, and if it's the right tool for the right job. So we want to thank you so much for watching. We do appreciate it. We hope that you learned something, and if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified when we post our next video. And as always, if you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments below. We do our very best to read every one of those and respond to them as possible. So thanks again, and we'll catch you in the next episode.